Okay, hopefully this is going to shoot. This is like my third attempt, but welcome to Truth Thursday. I came up with the concept today because my videos always seem to make sense on Thursdays, and so I decided to speak on a post that I reshared last week, and the theme around it was about winners knowing when to quit, and knowing when to redirect, moving from different environments when the time doesn't feel right. And this is very personal, and it's a decision that I feel is not group work. And to share my view isn't me trying to impose what you should be doing in my life. It's just expressing why I move in certain cases or move away from certain environments because of the discernment that's downloaded within me, and also just that knack that forces you to move away from certain environments. It's so important that when you think about the environment that you find yourself in, and when you look at the people around you, sometimes it feels like it should be working. It feels like certain people come into your life at a time that is beneficial to you. Environments and opportunities present themselves, and then you start feeling like a bit indebted to the environment. You feel indebted to the people around you, and this is not you saying I need to take away from what these people have done for me or what these environments have done for me. But sometimes certain rooms do not serve you anymore, and you don't serve them anymore. And it's a very hard revelation to walk into. But I always question whenever I have that urgency in me to want to move from certain environments, because I am aware that the enemy wants you to move also from places that you were meant to be planting a seed in and reaping the harvest in that season, in the right season. But sometimes your how can I put it, your spirit of urgency is not of God, right? Because God doesn't want you to get things like this so that you can glorify the thing that He's blessing you with, and then forsaking the fruits of the Holy Spirit, which include patience, self-control, having a spirit of tolerance and understanding and kindness of the people around you. But sometimes certain environments really shift you, and I think I'm reminded of the story of Abraham when God called him from Haran and said, you must move away from your family and forsake everything that you knew so that you can go into the city that I am showing you. Sometimes in life, you don't need to hold on to environments and things because you come from there or because they once served you. I felt very, very scared when I resigned from my first job, because number one, it was my first job, and then number two, I felt an obligation to want to give back what they put back in me, not understanding that this is all a setup. God puts you in certain spaces, God puts you in certain environments, and then He calls you out of those environments, right? Those environments at that point in time might feel like they are feeding you, they are supposed to be a part of your journey, but it doesn't mean that you have staying power to be there for a long time. And I used to get this question quite a lot, like, why did you resign? Why did you leave? What about the accolade? What about how can I say this? The fame of association, because sometimes we stay with people and things because of who they are and what we associate with them, And I think God has that's what He did. He's like, you are not where I place you, and your environment is not always going to be the right environment for you, because you are a seed. Wherever you are going to be in your life, whichever company that you're working with, whichever people that you encounter, you lay a seed. And if the environment is right for you, if you are getting the nutrients that you need from the environment, if the growth, the discomfort of growing into the environment is doing that, it's not a bad thing, right? And I think this is where discernment is very important, because sometimes in an environment, the growth period is a bit uncomfortable. You feel a bit of discomfort, but if the values of the environment make sense, then you shouldn't leave. Then you shouldn't sabotage yourself, because that's what the enemy will do, right? He appears as the angel of light, so he will make it seem as if this environment is not good for you, when in actual fact it is. But sometimes when your values are not aligned, when you demand more from the environments that you're around because you are so certain and so secure in what you believe in and what you want to impart on somebody else and what your dreams are calling you out of, you know, that is where that statement for me, winners know when to quit, hits inside. Because it's like sometimes you can demand more from your environment, you can demand better from the people around you. You don't need to conform to the environment just because, you know, I'm indebted and I have an obligation and I feel like they've done so much for me, but in actual fact I'm dying inside. I am not growing at the level that I know I should be growing at. They are not drawing wisdom out of me, they're not drawing the right things out of me, you know. I'm turning into someone that's bitter, you know. Sometimes you must evaluate your behaviors to know when the environment you're around is the right environment, you know. Because I do stock take where I will be in an environment or I'll be around people and I think to myself, what have I become, or who have I become around these people, around this environment? And if it speaks to bitterness, if it speaks to pressure, if it speaks to envy, if it speaks to jealousy, those are not things of God. I move. And there's no attachment to things, there's no ownership to things or positions or companies, you know. You should be able to feel stewardship wherever you are, and you should be able to have a spirit of discernment to know when environments that don't serve you have run their course. Because we are living a very seasonal life, and we plant seeds wherever we are, and we plant good seeds in good environment, and we leave fruit that is going to reproduce in itself, right? We're not going to always be in one place all the time. But I hope this blessed you. I hope it serves you. I hope it gets you thinking about the people that you're around, the environments that you're in, and maybe if you change the narrative about what moving from different environments is for you, you can also see yourself as a winner and not a loser when the time comes for you to change spaces and change the people that you're around. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great Thursday. Bye.